I hope you appreciate what I do. 'Cause this one, oh God. Okay. So, first off, this movie is from the worst side of the satirical fence. It's from that group of movies that saw what Scary Movie did, and it just went, yeah, let's do that, but cut all of the good stuff off and just leave really shitty jokes, really shitty writing, really shitty acting, and just
1 hour later.
Throw things at the camera until people don't notice we're not doing good things.
2 hours later. 3 hours later.
Can you move it along? I'm all out of time cards.
I saw most of the modern parody satire movies when they came out in theaters, and not one of them, until this one, made me go, you know what? I want some of my life back. This asinine piece of elephant tumors, just protozoic waste of degradation. I don't like it. It spits in the eye of anyone who has ever considered the parody genre. And I shall not speak its name, lest I have heartburn again.
May I present Frau Blucher?
And I'm here to find something good about it. Ladies and gentlemen, this is One Good Thing. Yeah, you heard right. This festering pustule actually did something right, or at least good. I believe that every movie has one good thing about it. Every single movie you've ever seen in your life has one good thing about it. This segment is meant to challenge that philosophy. And so far it's working pretty well. Now, what a movie has to do to qualify for this segment in the first place is have a star rating of 2.5 or less, below 30% on Rotten Tomatoes, a score less than 4 on IMDb, and less than a 70% likes on Google Movies. They have to have at least 3 of these things. As for my personal opinion, I wouldn't have chosen this movie if I didn't believe that it needed to be in this category in the first place. So there's no real reason to really get into it because I'm going to talk about it. Now, before we get into this, how about we have a little bit of a history lesson? Oh, boo! I promise it'll be way more interesting than anything that this movie does. The parody genre is not new to cinema. And when the first Scary Movie came out, the one that started it all, people were enamored by the over-the-top comedic horror blend.
Will this shirt make me look gay? No, man. What about now?
Those of us who have watched movies past the 90s, however, have seen that they weren't the first ones to do it, or even the best ones to do it. They're also not the first ones to do horror genre parody either. It's not something that's very popular, and the only one I can think of is High Anxiety. There are many, many directors that made their careers off of this niche of movie making. Movies that were outlandish and tasteful at the same time, pushing the comedic boundaries of their current era while still making things that were genuinely comedic and funny. to most people, and not just those of us who have a very active 9-year-old on the inside. At its core, all you need for parody to work is something to copy off of. That's it. You have your jokes. There's no real rules on how those jokes go. You usually get bonus points for really pushing those social boundaries. But the only actual thing needed is parodying somebody, something else, some person, whatever. And on that end, Scary Movie does succeed. And this also technically succeeds, even if, you know.
Enough is enough. I've had it with these motherfucking snakes on this motherfucking plane. So have I. Enough is enough. I've had it with these motherfucking snakes on this motherfucking plane. Right. I've had it with these motherfucking snakes on this motherfucking plane. Why do you keep saying that?
Well, that. Personally, I'd sit down and watch these movies if they had more to say, but they don't. I would rather watch a rubber chicken sitting on a table for an hour and a half than have to watch this movie again. So, that being said, and my personal feelings out of the way, what does it do well? Actually, to my utter surprise, it technically does two things. One of them is kind of a tiny little offhand thing, and then one of it is the big thing that I count as the one good thing. We'll do the runner-up first, just so that we can talk about the big one a little more. The first one is an joke. The whole movie, and it got an chuckle out of me. It's because it's so sweet. It's so simple, and it needs very little setup. It's taking advantage of the movie they're parodying, the actor that's playing one of the people that is being parodied, and it just sets it up beautifully.
Behold, my White Castle.
White Castle? I feel like I've been there before.
It's a good, clean joke, and I very much appreciate that. The one good thing that this movie does rather consistently is its makeup and costume department. Now, I know the first thing that's probably going to pop into your head, and it was the first thing that popped into my head too, is that the props and costume department could have just gone to a back lot and grabbed leftover costumes, because Hollywood doesn't get rid of anything. While there are parts where that works, like with the big fight scene towards the end with all the soldiers and whatnot, and like the extras just kind of littered out and about, there are certain costumes, in particular the ones of the main characters, since they're originally children, had to be made from scratch. That is where I become impressed, because it's not, it's not going to be a good movie. It's not going to, you're not working on something that's trying to do anything other than a cheap laugh and make money. So you don't have to bring your A game. You don't have to. But they do, again and again and again. I just, like, during the whole X-Men sequence, I was blown away with the effort that they put into it, because they could have just went. They do a really, really good job. And there are a few that are purposefully hilariously bad. Like when Aslan and the albino fight, where they're meant to be bad for a reason. They have a function. Another really great example is the Davy Jones mask. See? Useful. Actually, while we're on the subject of Davy Jones, I'd like to give a special shout out to Jack Swallows, who looks like an S-tier cosplayer stumbled on the set and they just kind of filmed him and rolled with it.
Man down! Man down! I could have faked it!
She shall be given a fair trial, judged by a jury of her peers.
Sorry, bitch.